the woman's fault. The man determines the gender of the child because he has the XY chromosome. Women, we have double X, right? Yeah, my biology people, am I saying that correctly? Mm-hmm. We have XX. And so, but we didn't know that years ago, but we know it now. And so, typically and generally, when you have your sons continue the bloodline. Something I learned this weekend with one of our fellow Bearcats is something within the Hispanic culture that I've always thought to be so beautiful, and I love it, is the children take the last name of the mother and the father. And so I asked the student, so what about when you get married? And he told me, well, if I marry an American woman, I'm not really sure, but if I marry an Hispanic woman, it could be, I want to say he said that he would keep his father's, she would take his father's last name and then keep her father's last name, so that way you can see it's a way to check the bloodline and to check the family heritage being passed down. I just think that's so beautiful. I love it. But was connecting that to the young man who passed away. That's tough. If he doesn't have any male cousins, potentially that family name can just not be passed down. And he just graduated from high school. Okay, our weekly quote. So we had it on the board last week and we read it out loud, I do believe, but we didn't write it down. And so last week's quote was by Dr. Angela Davis. Or maybe if we didn't read it out loud, I think at least I did. So the date is February 24th, 2020. I didn't mean for the double freeze again. Okay. Oftentimes, music and art can express for us what we have not yet learned how to say in our everyday words. Dr. Angela Davis. And this is a constructive way for us to get our frustrations out. And so it's not a damaging way, because a lot of times when we do things like drink or smoke or engage in extracurricular activity, when we do things that can potentially cause harm to us, the problem is still there, or what we're trying to escape is still there. But if we find a way to constructively listen to music that can uplift us and or inspire us, or we can create like painting or drawing or sketching or whatever, writing, that's a constructive way to help us channel our emotions in a healthy way to where we're not harming our body, but we can process through it, because we're going to have days where they're hard and they're tough, right? We're going to do that, but we can situate how we handle those things. Okay? Oh, excuse me, I thought I froze it, y'all. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, y'all, excuse me for that. Did I write the letters too close together? No. No, because sometimes I write my letters too close together, and I make the letters loopy, and they're not legible.
The first two words oftentimes.
Oh, it's together though. Okay. That's supposed to be together. We don't see it often like that. It's so funny to say often, but we don't see it often like that. Y'all, I remember I used to write my comments in cursive for my college students. And then I want to say I did it my first couple of years of teaching too. But I got so tired of explaining or telling students what words were because they said, they were like, Ms. Ann, we can't read in cursive. And I just didn't understand that. I was like, what? They're like, we can't read in cursive. And I was just like, and then for a little bit, they took cursive out of the curriculums for elementary school students. And that was really difficult because yes, we are going to the phase of everything being electronic. However, cursive, and I may not be saying this word properly, but it's a cognitive development that helps children. So when you take it out, it's like you're taking a part of their brain, keeping a part of their brain dormant that needs to be developed. And it's just like, why? Okay, so here is today's. Would someone like to read the quote on the board for us? Or you can look here and read it. What's our quote for this week?
I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. By Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Thank you, Crystal. So does someone want to share what that means to them? I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. It's projected up here too if you want to see it that way. I'll jump in the water and someone can jump in with me. Hate is too great a burden to bear because y'all, it's heavy and it impacts you. It alters your disposition. It can even affect you or impact you physically. My mom said she read an article about an older man who his his fists were balled together. He slumped over. But he shared his experience as he stopped hating people because of what they looked like or because of what country they were from, and he started opening himself to interacting with people. His hands relaxed and his posture got better. So that hate was like eating away at his life. And then really, does hate hurt the people or the group that you feel it towards? No. And a lot of times, not only is hate too great a burden to bear, but I think hate is can be rooted in fear, right? Like when we hate something, I think we have to, if we say I hate something, well, I don't like to say the word hate. To me, hate is really like a 4-letter word to me. Well, it is a 4-letter word literally, but it's like a cuss word because it's negative. It connects to death and tearing things down, and it's not connected to positivity. And so I think hate is rooted in fear. Like if we hate something, we have to ask ourselves why, right? Just like I shared with us before, that a lot of times when people say things to us, it has more to do with how they feel than how they really feel about us. They're just projecting. I did a vlog about that. A lot of times we project things when we don't want to take ownership of what it is we have issue with. We project it on other people. And so hate is it's divisive. Like we see that right now in our country right now. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's so unfortunate because in spite of, you have the resonating heart of people who choose to lead with love, right? Who choose to lead with seeing everyone as humans, because we're all humans. We look differently, which thank God we do, because if we didn't, it'd be boring. If we all looked the same, if we all talked the same, if we all acted the same, what? I mean, no bird even looks the same. No lion, no creation even looks the same. So why should we? But a lot of times, again, when people are fearful or they hate, it's because they don't understand something. Instead of asking or seeking knowledge about it, it's just easier to say, well, I hate oranges. I've never had an orange, but I hate it. How can you hate an orange if you've never had it? So that's how I connect that. All right, wonderfuls. Now we're going to shift gears to our warm-up. It's Monday, so what do we do on Mondays? Journal time. Awesome, journal time. So go to your next blank sheet of paper towards the front of your empowerment notebook, and let's write our heading. Y'all give me never mind. I'm sleepy. Y'all, I'm a little sleepy. Excuse me. All right, so you're gonna write until I call time, okay? Remember, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I using the exact same word or proper word? Just be easy. Write until I call time, okay? keys? Where are my keys? Where are my keys? You all should be writing. If you're done, you should be quiet. Some people are still writing. You have, oh, we're done. Good stuff. All right, so now we're transitioning to, okay, thank you, Dave. So now we're transitioning to you working on your rough draft. You need to finish keying it. I'm going to give you 35 minutes to do so. Then we are going to transition to an activity where you're going to edit a portion of my paper, and we're going to talk about how and why we need to edit it and what we need to look for in editing, and we'll walk through a few steps, and then we'll make sure that we upload that draft to turnitin.com. Of course, I don't expect for your draft to be this glowing, amazing first start. Mine's not, because it's a rough draft. We're just getting our thoughts down on paper based on our thesis statement and plugging in the required components of the introduction, of the body paragraphs, and of the conclusion. And then we're going to go back and take our steps and stages to make sure that we did that, and also that we did it properly, formally, and following grammar rules and mechanical rules, and making sure that we have the proper content. But right now, what you're focusing on is keying your rough draft. You are not going to share with me right now. You are going to key it and upload it to turnitin.com, okay? Do I need to have this projected, or do we understand what we're doing right now with our Chromebooks? We understand?